Hey YouTube, Nova Piper. It is a scorcher out this morning. Freshly cleaned Eric Stockeby, 4th generation, 1931. The orange, what do they call that? Orange Sienna or something? I cleaned her all out yesterday. A little alcohol. And I'm smoking some Cabot and Hogarth Balkan mixture. Oh yeah. Need me some Lakeland. Wow. So I took some old stems. I got some OxiClean yesterday. I called up my mom. I was doing the video. I said, "Mom, where are you? Go get me some OxiClean." She was out shopping. So she picked me up a little bottle of OxiClean powder, and I just threw a little bit into a container with some hot water and put a couple of stems in it. And one of the stems was from an old Brigham that's over 20 years old, and it was oxidized as shit. And I just took a little Brillo pad, man, and it took all the oxidization off. I may have to do it again. And I had a Peterson stem that was getting a little dull. It was this acrylic, whatever stem, same kind of material. It was just getting dull. So I put it in there for a few minutes and wiped it off, and now it's really dull. Now the stem's super dull, and I don't know what to use to bring the shine back on it. And I've heard people say, I know, what's his face there, buddy on the Pipe Magazine radio show, he always says toothpaste. Like just as a rubbing compound because it's a mild abrasive. I don't have a buffing wheel to do it, so like I got a Dremel, but that won't cut it. Let me know how to put some shine and gleam back on that beautiful stem. That would be appreciated. I just filled up my Zippo. I don't usually, when I fill up my Zippo, I just usually put a little shot of juice in it. But kind of laying in the living room on the couch, fucking on the laptop, and I got this massive fan that I put in the window to suck all the smoke out, and it's like an old DC-9 prop or a DC-4 prop or a DC-3 or something. Anyway, it is powerful and fucking loud, and it sucks everything right out of the house, regardless which way the wind's blowing. And I was smoking Deception Pass last night. It wasn't too bad, I guess, but tobacco's wet, and it's so humid I can't get it to dry out, so I keep relighting it. So I figured I'd fill my lighter up a little better today. And when I filled it up, you could see it get right to the top. I went, oh, she's full. And I put it in here, and I laid it over here, and it's really hot, and I picked it up, I could barely hold it. And when I lit it, it just went poof, and the lid was on fire and everything, and I had it a little close to my face. Good thing I just got out of the shower, man, or my hair was dry and frizzy, would be everywhere. So I put it in the shade. Yeah, so the OxiClean worked great on the stem to get rid of the oxidization. Now I just need to know what to use to polish it. It would be super duper. Whew, cloud came over, man. Ain't gonna last though. It's gonna be in the 30s today. It's already 30 in the shade on the deck, just the sun gleaming off the deck. It's not really that warm. It's definitely like probably 25, 26 degrees out though. Can't wait to get this fucking wife beater off though. So yesterday I was seeing if I could break my laptop. Yeah, I broke it a couple times, but I finally got it working. I wanted to dual boot my laptop. It's a gaming, Alienware gaming machine, and I got 2 hard drives and a solid state drive, rapid storage and rapid start on the SSD drive, and it's a UEFI motherboard, so it doesn't use BIOS, so it uses a completely different partition table and stuff like that, and it's just Microsoft's Terrified of Linux basically. And anyway, it's a pain in the ass trying to get dual boots going. But I had dual booted. I had 4 operating systems on it at one time when I first got it, but you know, I got it set up and I don't really want to change things, wipe it clean. So I said fuck it, I got screwing around on it and put Linux on it and couldn't get it to boot and was fucking around and tried to run some repairs on it, and come to find out that I was using Linux Mint. It's one of my, it's a Debian, I like Debian, and it's a Debian based, and I know a lot of people use Ubuntu. I'm not into Ubuntu, I don't like that. It's got a little Amazon spyware in it. So I use Mint. Debian's probably the most popular one, and then Mint's probably close behind it. And Mint's more closer to Ubuntu than it is to Debian, but it doesn't matter. I got Mint on it. But what it was, the whole time, I had to turn off secure boot and I had to turn off fast boot. But the only way I could see my USB stick was in legacy mode, and it's because I wasn't, when I was making my USB boot stick, I was using MBR as the boot partition instead of GPT. So I found another tool I downloaded, and then I put the image on using that, and then I didn't have to boot in the legacy mode. I could do it into UEFI mode, and it recognized it. I installed it. Everything worked out great, but it would boot. It was booting straight into Linux, and it wasn't giving me a grub menu, or Windows wasn't listed, so I just did a boot repair on it, and it works perfect. So, get rid of all that techno garble. It not broken, I fixed it, it worked good. It do what I wanted to. So now when I turn it on, I got a menu and it says, do you want to boot Linux or do you want to boot Windows? Unless you play video games, you don't need Windows. Unless you're a hardcore gamer. I like playing a lot of video games, so that's the only reason why, but Linux runs the world, man. Open source. Open source is the opposite of Microsoft. So open source just means I can write this operating system, and here's the source code to it. It's free. I'm not selling it to you. If you want to download this and run it and use it, it's fine, but you do so at your own. You know, I'm not liable for anything. You can do whatever you want with it. And if you want to improve on it, you have the source code. All I say is just give, acknowledgement to the original writer and just say, hey, Nova Piper added this feature. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it. You can do what you want with it, and then have the whole world community. Dude, that's why Apple's closed. Apple's proprietary. Microsoft, the same thing. Can't get your hand on the source code, so that's why it sucks. And that's why the internet runs on all the internet and big, in the office you work in. If you work in an office, you've got a wire closet or server room. There's, of course, you got your Windows machines in there for all the people to log into, but all the stuff that holds your data and all that shit, your firewalls and all that, that's all running Linux, man. Linux runs the internet. I think the whole government of Brazil uses Debian. So if you guys aren't into that, take a look at what open source is. It applies to software, to hardware, anything. It means I develop it and I give you the plans. I'm going to develop it and I'll sell it. If you want to buy mine, fine. But if you want to make your own and sell it, that's cool. Do it under your own name. Here's the schematics, here's the plans. Works the same way with software. And it makes everything powerful. Oh yeah, it's mentioned how warm it is. Oh, there's some cloud shade. I'm not going to look because I know it ain't going to last. So I got to look. Oh yeah, it's just a little guy. Look, it's gone. But boy, oh boy, man, I couldn't believe that OxyClean. It doesn't actually remove the oxidization. It softens it so you can scrub it off. And I may have to do one of them stems again, and it's in bad shape and it's right rough because it was really oxidized. It's not acrylic. It's old, so it's Vulcanite or something. So what can I use to polish it? And I don't want to go out and buy a little bottle, like beard oil. You buy a little, 25 milliliter bottle for 20 bucks. And I'm going to tell you a secret about beard oil. I don't have these big honking beards like some of you guys got, but I've always had facial hair my whole life. So I had beards before it was trendy. And I shave with a razor. I don't use electric razors. I use one of them. I don't know whatever they call it, the fucking Gillette 5-blade thingies. I use hair conditioner for shaving cream. Once you get out of the shower and you're still wet, first thing you do is you shave. Can't do a dry shave. Gotta use hot water. And use hair conditioner. And if you want to condition your beard, Hawaiian Tropic Dark Tanning Oil. SPF 0. I used to spend a lot of time at the beach. And I went to the beach to get tanned, and I used to, where I live in Nova Scotia, way back in the day, this was, slaves used to escape to Nova Scotia as part of the Underground Railroad, so there's a lot of black history in Nova Scotia. Anyway, I got a lot of black friends. I'd go to the beach and I'd get all tanned up and I'd say, put my arm up against, my buddy. It's like, man, look at that, I'm catching up, dude. It's like, holy shit, how do you get so dark? So, and then I had some Indian friends too that were really brown, and they'd say the same thing. It's like, oh my God, Tim, look at you, man. You're like, seriously? And that was my secret, was coconut oil. I'd start off in the season with, a little bit of SPF until I got a base tan, and then I just, would put the dark tanning oil on, and then once you get a base tan, see, I used to do roofing, so I was outside a lot. So you'd have a base tan, and then it helps protect you. And then I come to find out that the oil was getting in my face. So fuck that beard oil shit, man. A little bit of dark tanning oil works great. I told one of the guys at work about it. He's like, wow, that's awesome. A squirrel. Okay, I seen a squirrel happen there. Yeah, but all my black friends or my Indian friends, people that aren't white, not non-Caucasian friends. I used to make fun of one of my friends, William. He was a black guy I used to hang around with all the time from the neighborhood, man, and I used to get so tanned. There was one point where I was darker than he was. It was funny. All good fun, right? He was carrying on with him. So yeah, I think my point was I don't want to buy a little thing like this to polish my stems and pay 20 bucks. I want to get them to shine. Holy Jesus, the heat, man, it's crazy. It's gonna be beautiful. Anyway, it's enough rambling. I gotta get this shirt off and y'all don't want to see that. Alright, so thanks for watching and we'll see you.